What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Creative Differences Podcast. My name is Dallas.
My name is Gabby.
And I'm a siren whose trashy pop music only attracts fuckboys.
Yes. Demi is off in the icy tundra somewhere. She might appear. She might not. We'll find out. Today we're talking about Frozen. Throwback Thursday. Spoiler alert for Frozen. The movie's 6 years old. If you haven't seen it, you don't care.
Get it together, man.
I mean, I hadn't seen it before like yesterday.
What?
Yeah, it be like that sometimes. That takes us to our first point. Do you remember your first time watching this movie? Yes, I do. It was yesterday.
Hey.
Dallas, how do you have like a niece and you haven't seen Frozen, like a young niece and you haven't seen Frozen?
Well, we don't live together.
Wasn't Moana mostly her obsession?
Yes.
Fair.
And Moana is better. But
Moana slaps.
it really does.
Yeah, it really is better. But Frozen's great too.
Yeah, Frozen's pretty dope. I watched it on Disney Plus. Shout out to Disney Plus. And I scrolled through all the things I would much rather be watching.
Yeah, you shouldn't have done
To
that. That
watch
was your
Frozen.
mistake.
I had to get to Frozen. I had to scroll past Lion King and Remember the Titans to get to Frozen.
Really? It was like at the top of mine.
I don't know, man.
Wild.
I was probably just scrolling because I wanted to see what was on there. But yeah, my first time was yesterday. Thought it was pretty cool. Moving on, Colin.
Yeah, I remember my first time watching it because I've only seen it twice, so it's easy to remember.
Fair.
I saw it in a theater with Demi and her brother and a friend of ours from Israel.
Ooh. Y'all are global.
It's a movie. Anyway, Gabby, do you remember your first time watching Frozen?
Yes, I was babysitting my little cousin who was obsessed with it, and I watched it once and I was like, wow, this is really cute. And then she proceeded to keep playing it for the rest of the day. So then I hated Frozen for a long time.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You had to watch it over and over and
I
over.
had
That's
to
a
watch
form
it
of
like
torture.
3 times, and then after the 3rd or 4th time, I like put her down, and I was like, "We're not going to watch this movie again. We're going to watch something else."
That's fair. Kids should not make decisions.
She was very young, so it was something that I couldn't quite negotiate like without some crying. But I was like, whatever. I'd rather hear child tears than have to watch this movie again.
That's a take.
This just in, Gabby hates children.
Yo, same.
I hate children.
Gabby loves their tears.
It's that I
Gabby
love
wants children to cry.
I love my baby cousin, but I was not willing to watch that movie for the 4th or 5th time that
Gabby
day.
wants children to be unhappy.
Stop that now.
Look, if a kid's going to make you watch Frozen 5 times in a row, the kid deserves to be unhappy.
I mean, it was a little kid,
Wow.
so they were going to cry for about 5 minutes. I was going to distract them with food, and then they would be fine. Like, that's it.
Never mind. Like I said, that reminds me of a story when Gabby made a kid cry with a promise of donuts.
Ooh,
But-
yep, that happened.
We're going to move on.
It was such a hard day.
You weren't the one crying. We're going to move on.
I wanted to cry by the end of it. I was like, I'm a terrible adult.
No one knows what we're talking about. Moving on to the story of Frozen. Frozen is, what is it an adaptation of? The Ice Queen?
Sure.
Yeah,
I don't
Hans
know.
Christian Andersen.
Oh, there it is.
But it's not a direct...
Yeah, I've never read
It's
The Ice
very
Queen.
loose. I think the Ice Queen is where the Ice Queen is actually the villain. And I think that was the original take. And then they realized that they could make it a sisterly love story. So they went with that take.
That's cool. Do you guys like the story, Colin? What'd you think? You like the story?
Yeah, it's cool. I like that it's kind of, what's the phrase? Like small in scope. It's basically you've got 2 locations. You've got the castle and the other castle. And that's basically
The
it.
castle
Like,
and the
there's
ice
not-
castle.
and like the hut for 5 seconds when Anna meets Kristoff. But like other than that, it's very small and there are very few characters and there's no grand epic adventure or, terrible villain to fell outside of like Hans, and he gets taken care of very easily. Like it's very small and it works.
Fair.
And I like that it stands out in that regard from a lot of their movies, which are, you have to stop some big evil person.
That's fair. Hans is a small, evil person. I was just really frustrated watching it because, like, it's a Disney movie. So the parents are either going to be dead or trash or both. And just, like, the way they handle these kids.
Yeah, it was really
It's
bad.
just like, yo, really?
yeah.
Like, oh, my God, she has powers. Lock
Let's
her up.
shame her.
Like,
Right?
or, like, maybe you can take her outside. Like, maybe try to practice controlling your powers.
Yeah, that's the thing is
let's,
like they talk
figure out where the
about
powers came
controlling
from.
the powers, but what that really means is don't use your powers ever. And
Just
it's like,
wear gloves.
nah, just gradually build up to it
Right.
and you'll probably be fine.
could
She
be
can only
better
snipe
at
her
it.
sister once. Like,
Surprise, she did it twice. But
She can only snipe her sister once.
But yeah, they turned Elsa to a freaking ice obscurial because they were like, just conceal, don't feel.
Ooh.
And she's like, well,
What's
okay.
an obscurial?
It's from Fantastic Beasts
name?
when like your
yes.
magic
Ezra
isn't
Miller,
allowed to
yeah.
express itself, and
Yes.
then you get a bad bowl cut and nobody's happy. And,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuck the crimes of Grindelwald, man. I remember. Okay, I
That
remember.
was in the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also in the second one, but the obscurial stuff is in the first one.
Yeah.
That's a weird plot point. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah. And then Anna and Elsa just, like, live in solitary confinement for
Yeah.
a very long
It's so
time.
weird because the thing is, Dallas and I were talking about how Anna's like, oh, I've been alone for years. And it's like, so you just don't think the servants are people,
Yeah.
is what you're
apparently.
saying. Like, they're there. You can talk to them. You're
Yeah.
not alone, but you just disregard them because you're rich and they're servants and who cares?
Yeah,
wants
or
to
like
talk
she
to
was
the
like, I
help.
have to talk to the paintings. And I'm like, you talk to the paintings before you talk to the servants? Oh, jeez. Anyway.
Bring out the guillotine.
She's a rich white woman. But yeah, I was like, yo,
Then
they
why
should
don't
both
they
be,
eat
like,
cake?
certifiably insane. Because
I mean,
They were
low-key
kids.
are.
Anna
Well,
definitely
also, like,
either...
I'm not
we'll
really
get
sure
there.
why Anna doesn't leave the castle because she's
Yeah,
not stuck
right?
there.
She doesn't
She can
need
leave.
to be there.
She just doesn't.
Well, Anna's-
We're asking too much of this children's movie.
Anna's dumb. She shouldn't go outside by herself. I think Demi has a thought.
I have thought they lowered the number of house staff in the house,
Mhm.
They did.
and then, but I guess for Anna definitely probably could have been let out, but Anna also doesn't remember why they're being stuck in there in the first place.
Oh, that's
and I'm
true.
curious as to whether or not the house staff knew the truth as to why they were keeping her in the house either.
I feel like they probably did.
But
because
even
they
if
used
they
to watch
knew-
them
But then why
play.
were they surprised when Elsa goes crazy?
'Cause
Or
maybe-
she doesn't go crazy, but her powers go crazy.
Even if
Because
they
it
knew, why Anna was never the one supposed to be kept in the house.
I feel like maybe it's one of those things where it's like, you know, it's been so long since you watched it. You're almost wondering if it was a dream or if it was real. Maybe it was kind of something like that where it's like, it's been so long. People were like, did she really do that? Or did I just like imagine that quirk? I don't know. But also, this is a children's movie, so we may be overanalyzing.
That's what we do here. Welcome to Creative Differences, where we think too much about kids' movies. And, you know, movies in general.
I'm willing to forgive a lot in this movie just because it's a kids movie and it's an hour and a half and they really didn't have time to fill in all that stuff. What I do like is that it looks like they're going to fill in like some of the gaps in the
I feel like
second
they
movie.
did have time if they'd spent less time on like Alan Tudyk's character who doesn't matter at all. Like they
Oh,
had
yeah,
time.
it
They
was
just
Alan
chose
Tudyk.
to use it in different ways.
Fair.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm not blaming, like, oh, this is bad writing or bad narrative. It's just like, these are bad parents. Which
Yeah.
is, you know, it's a Disney
That's
staple.
like typical of a Disney movie.
Bad and or dead parents.
Yeah.
They are dead.
Oh.
They died in like a little,
Yeah.
like,
Some people
montage.
are like, is that
We're going on the
Tarzan's
boat. You have to go.
parents?
Yep, dead. I have heard the Tarzan theory. I had never seen Frozen. I just chose not to believe it because I didn't feel like it. I want to talk about not the kids, the protagonists.
Yes.
Is this plural? Anna.
Yes.
She's freaking dumb. So
She's real sheltered, I feel like.
she's real dumb. Like, she goes outside. She falls in love with the first person she meets with, like, whatever, Disney, you can do that, I guess. And then when she was gonna marry him,
Yeah.
I thought, oh, they're just doing the silly Disney thing. But then everyone else in the movie is
No.
like, that's stupid.
No, I
So
love
like,
that.
Okay, cool. Anna's just a dumb person.
No, my favorite part is when Kristoff she was like, you can leave me alone. And he's like, no, you're
I don't trust your judgment.
Bad judgment. Like, yes.
It's like, no, I cannot let you do anything alone.
You
Because
have terrible
you're
judgment.
not smart. And
I
then
love that.
and then she's just gonna leave, and is gonna leave Hans in charge of Arendelle. And it's like,
You've known this dude all 15 minutes.
one, he doesn't even go here.
Yeah.
And two, yes, you've known this dude for 15 minutes. Had a whole ass song that took place over the course of a night, and it's just like, love is an open door. Song slaps, by the way.
It
Dope
does.
song.
It is.
But like, bro, this isn't love. You just know this dude.
I mean, he's not. She puts him in charge of Arendelle, and the one thing we see him doing is handing out blankets so people don't freeze. Like, he's not bad at it.
Yeah, but she had no way of knowing that.
That's true.
Yeah, but it worked out.
If a dude walked in the ArcLight, we just made him manager and he turned out to be good at it. Doesn't mean we were being smart. We just got lucky.
We probably shouldn't talk about your...
A lucky dumb girl. So yes, Anna's dumb, but she's very girl powerlicious because she does some really dope things in this movie.
She does.
Yeah. Just like her sister, who was even more girl powerlicious because she's an Omega level mutant.
She is.
Because, oh my God.
Yes.
I'm
Because she
guessing
has ice
Omega
powers.
is really powerful.
Yes.
Yes.
All the super powerful, like Storm, who controls the weather.
Or like
Okay.
Dr. Xavier.
And there's been like debate about Iceman, which is relevant. But yeah, she has ice powers, but also creates life on more than one
that's a
occasion.
little weird.
That's like
She's a
Yeah.
deity at this point. Like
yeah,
she
she
makes,
kind of is.
She made Olaf. She made I think he's credited as Marshmallow.
Marshmallow, yeah.
Which is adorable. But like that's a very powerful creature.
She
You
also
just-
And
built
then
an
there's-
entire castle.
Yeah. And then
in the
there's
course of a song.
There's
Yeah.
a short where she gets a cold, and every time she sneezes, a tiny little snowman is made. So then the town ends up with like
That
these
is
adorable
horrifying.
little snowmen everywhere, and they're so cute.
She's the kid on Twilight Zone. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about.
No,
There's a little kid who got like Scarlet Witch powers. It's not important. I like Elsa. She's dope.
she's cool.
I like
She's,
Elsa.
I feel so bad for Elsa.
Yo, same.
Elsa in this movie is fine, but pretty much the entire movie she's the same character because that's, she's going through it.
Yeah.
I'd be more interested to watch the sequel when she's no longer afraid of herself and we can kind of see like who she is when she doesn't have to deal with the fact that she's afraid of herself.
Which is
Yeah.
interesting because Let It Go sounds like a song that should be I'm no longer afraid of myself.
It does.
But it's also like I'm not afraid of myself, but I'm afraid for everyone else for the same reason as before.
I'm
So I
I'm
haven't
not
really
afraid of
developed-
myself as long as no one ever comes near me
Exactly.
again.
As long as I never have to speak to a human being again, everything's fine. So it's like this isn't really that triumphant. You just exiled yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which whatever, that's fine. Song still slaps.
Yep.
It does.
How far I'll go is
It
better.
does.
We can talk about that later.
Dude, the children.
Okay, we don't need to be comparing.
the children's obsession with Let It Go.
I mean, it slaps.
We'll
It
get to that. We have a
does,
section
but
for that.
we'll get to it.
I'm gonna talk about more characters. Kristoff.
Kristoff.
Yo,
I
Kristoff
love
is my favorite
Kristoff.
character.
He's my favorite too.
He has some big himbo energy, and I fucking love it.
Some what?
He has some big himbo energy. I said what I said.
What is him?
It's a male bimbo.
Oh.
Yeah,
There it is.
he's great.
Also, something I didn't know before watching this movie, he's played by the protagonist from Mindhunter.
Yeah, Jonathan Groff.
And that was so weird to me because I've only ever seen this man in Mindhunter.
Oh, really?
That's so
interviewing
strange to
and
me.
hunting down serial killers. So I hear him in this Disney movie talking to a reindeer. And I'm like,
And
is
making
that
like
Holden?
a yes, it's Holden.
It was wild.
Okay, see, and I know Jonathan Groff as like the Broadway star.
Everyone else
Yeah.
does.
So,
Everyone
like,
besides me
yeah.
knows him as the Broadway guy.
And I was like, I was super disappointed that he got one song in I was like, why? That's a waste.
He gets one in the sequel.
He better. Like, he got one song, and then half the song he was like singing in this weird Sven voice, and I was like, what is the point? You know who got more of a song? Santino Font, the guy that plays Hans got more of a song than the freaking Broadway star. I was so mad.
It was interesting.
I was bitter.
It's like freaking. I didn't know Mindhunter could sing.
Oh, he can. He has a beautiful, smooth, buttery voice.
You got anything else to say about Kristoff?
Nah, other than that, he's great.
He's dope. I want to move on to Olaf.
Oh, so nobody's asking Gabby about. If she wants
Gabby.
more, like things to say about Kristoff. I do. I
Oh,
like
good.
I like how much he pointed out Anna's like.
Idiocy.
Yeah, like he's like, you can't do that. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And like she put her feet up on his like sled, and he's like, "This is fresh lacquer." Like, were
you
we
raised in a
born in a
barn?
barn? Raised in a barn.
He's
I
great.
was like, yes. I
Like our
just
voice
liked-
of reason.
Yes, I liked the contrast because like Anna's up in the stars, and Kristoff's like, I've been alone since I was like 6. Like,
Which, like,
I'm a
I
survivor,
want some context.
right?
Was no one raising? Was he living in a cave with his reindeer?
I think he was living alone with his reindeer.
He was raised by the rocks.
Yeah, and he was raised by the trolls.
Oh, right,
But
right.
this
right,
is why
right,
I'm
right, right.
really looking forward to the second movie because it looks like we'll talk about it, but like it looks like they're definitely going to fill in some gaps there.
We'll talk about it.
His best line is still, "I'm gonna tell him."
Yes, and she's like, "Don't you dare!" That's beautiful.
That's a good transition to my favorite line in the movie.
Yes.
Olaf's first few lines, and I pointed this out to Colin when I was watching it. They just describe how I feel about this movie and so many other movies. Olaf's first few lines are, "It is beautiful, but it's so white. How about a little color?"
Oh, goodness gracious!
And if I could just stamp that on every movie review that
You're
requires
going
it.
to now.
Yeah, I just want to like
Buddy,
mail a T-shirt
when
to
we
Greta
get
Gerwig.
to Little Women.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
gonna
but it's so white.
you're gonna start the podcast off with that.
I think I'm gonna just start saying that.
Yeah, you
in
definitely
applicable
need to.
movies. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, shout out to Olaf because he wasn't as annoying as I thought he would be.
Really?
Really?
Yes,
I thought he
because-
was still annoying this time around.
Yeah, like you told me how much he annoyed you, and I
I-
was ready to be annoyed. I like Josh Gad, so that helps. I didn't really care for the summer song.
I love that song. It's
Like,
the
it's
best
funny.
song. Like, it's. can't explain how much I love that.
I like the
song.
humor in it though.
Yes.
Like the line where he almost says, "I'm gonna be a puddle," and he
He's
just
like,
looks at it. Happy snowman. I was like, that's dope. So like, yeah, it's not a bad song. It's just like, I was telling Colin this, and yes, we're doing another Moana comparison. Summer is like what Shiny was from Moana.
Yes.
I love Shiny.
Yes, I know.
But like in comparison to the other songs, it just don't slap like that.
No.
Like I think it's fire.
Shiny.
I kind of just love Tamatoa. Jermaine Clement's awesome.
Yeah.
But like as far as a song, like this is a comic relief song.
Yes.
Even though Shiny does have some like character development for Maui, which is dope.
It does.
Other than that, Olaf was great. He was really funny. I was like, oh man, I thought I was gonna hate you. I'm so glad I don't. Like when they're sliding down the thing, Kristoff is like, Olaf, stay out of sight. He's like, okay, and then he's just, hi, and you just hear a woman scream. It's alive. This is great. Olaf is hilarious.
Oh God.
Shout out to Josh Gad.
Or like that part where he looks up and he's just like, I don't have any bones.
Yeah, that was so weird. I don't have any bones. I don't have a skull or any bones at all. It's like, what is going on?
Or like when he's like, I finally have a nose. It's such a cute little nose. And then she pushes the rest of the carrot through and he's like, ah, I love my nose even more.
Watching the movie reminded me again of the part where she's talking about her hair turning white and she goes, does it look bad? And Kristoff goes, no. And then he pulls off his head and goes, you hesitated.
Yeah. He hesitated. No, I didn't.
Yes.
Olaf is funny.
Olaf is great.
He's just
I'm going to
so
dress
funny.
my dog as Olaf for Halloween some year. Yeah.
Colin, tell us why you hate the snowman. Unless you don't feel like it.
I don't hate the snowman. He just
Why did he
gets
annoy
on my
you?
nerves. I don't know. It just
Fair.
feels like
I get it.
I think what it is that the other characters would do things that were just naturally funny. With Olaf, it always felt like the movie needed to stop so that Olaf could say something funny, and you knew he was being funny.
Oh, okay, I understand.
Like everybody else had funny bits, and it was like, yeah, that's cool. But then it would be like, no, here is an Olaf joke. Look at this Olaf joke. Love the Olaf joke. And it's like, yeah, his jokes are funny, but I wish they were integrated a bit better into the movie.
I think the only one that stood out to me for that reason was the one where he says, I don't have any bones.
Yeah.
Because someone says something, like Kristoff says, I have a hard skull. And then the camera just goes down to Olaf, who's
and
looking up.
stops,
I don't have a skull. I don't have any bones at all. And I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Shout out to Josh Gad.
Can we talk about the villain?
Oh, yeah, there's a villain.
I wasn't going to see this movie because I was like, I'm in college. I don't have any money. Like, I'm not going to see this movie because that's when it came out.
Yes.
But I did see on Tumblr the twist. And I was like, oh, I wish I hadn't seen this so I could fully enjoy the movie.
Yo, that twist would have been crazy for me if I had never seen this movie. Or if I'd never, seen the twist.
Yeah. And I was just like, yo. And apparently people lost their minds at that twist.
I can imagine.
Like,
He was such a nice guy.
yeah. And then, like, they sang that song together. Although, from... what do you call it? I had heard that song before I knew about the twist, and I was like, this song sounds weird. Like, they obviously don't know each other very well. If they said like instead of finishing each other's sentences, they said sandwiches, and I'm like I was like, that's off. That's weird. And then I saw the twist later, and I was like, that's why it's off.
Because he's evil and she's stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Colin, do you have any thoughts on Hans?
I hate his facial hair. I can't stop thinking, like, the mutton chops thing. I hate it.
Fair.
I hate it. It's awful.
He has to stay warm.
You don't need facial hair for that. You could just wear a scarf.
Yeah.
Like a decent human being and not have hideous mutton chops. Like,
But
that's the real evil here. But no, he's cool. The thing about him is, like, he's evil and power hungry, but I also feel like he might not be bad running a kingdom.
That's the sense that I got too, but also, like, what was I gonna say? This isn't about him, or like the movie's not about him.
Right, but like he's not like the most evil person ever. Like some people, like Jafar, nothing Jafar does is anything but evil. Hans is like not an evil person. He just wants power, and that's a problem.
Hans wants to commit murder twice in this movie.
Yes.
That's true.
He meets two women, and he wants to kill them both. That's about it. Like
Yeah.
every significant character he meets, he's like, just kill him.
Just kill him.
Like even Jafar just wanted to marry the girl, which is creepy.
Yep.
But he didn't want to kill her. But whatever, he's supposed to be bad. He's bad. Visuals and sound. Visually, it's beautiful, but
Yeah.
it's so white.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes, the ice effects are really dope though.
that's the thing is they
Yeah.
use that whiteness to good effect. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
snow
They
and the
do.
ice, it's good.
It was a way for them to show off, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, look what we
they're
can do.
like, this is
They did the
white,
same
but
thing
let
with
me
water
show
in
you all
Moana,
the
like-
levels. Yeah. But that was fucking like insane.
I just want to say that Elsa's ice castle is one of the greatest things I've ever seen in animation.
It's so pretty.
Yep. It's like,
And watching it like form is awesome.
yes. You could tell they had a really good time.
Also,
building
that dress she wears, the ice dress, is so good.
It's pretty dope dress.
Yeah, there's a reason everybody wanted to be Elsa for Halloween. And it's because of that dress.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh. And that transition to her wearing that dress was just like when she sheds everything off. It's just like she's like puts down her ponytail and you're like, yeah, like Elsa. Like the movie's really like the main character of the movie. I feel like is Anna, but like freaking Elsa, man.
Stole the show.
Yep.
It's like
Omega
Lucy Liu and
level.
Charlie's Angels.
Yes, Omega level X-Men.
Colin,
Dallas.
let's talk about the song "Fixer Upper."
Ooh boy. Okay, here we go.
So he's a little bit of a
Strap in, strap on, whatever you want to strap. Anyway,
"Fixer Upper" is,
God.
let's say, whatever the music version of aesthetically is, sonically, audibly, whatever.
Orally,
Solid.
I think.
Orally?
AURA.
Yeah, I know what kind of orally you're saying, but it's
Yeah,
confusing.
I know.
I feel like sonically is a better word.
Yeah, I'm gonna use sonically. I used to do that. Decent. Sounds good. Song is nice.
The
Lyrically,
lyrics.
they basically just tell Kristoff, "Oh, she's engaged. Just kill him."
Or like
Like
not
he says-
just kill him, but like, do they say kill him?
They say get rid of the fiance, which
Yeah.
doesn't imply like explicitly kill him.
No, because they were. I feel like
I
they
feel
were
like
saying.
they had
Typically
big kill
saying
him
get
energy.
rid of or get out of the way, that
Yeah.
basically means you're going to kill them.
Really, I thought it just meant like ignore. Like, who cares about the fiance?
When have
No,
you
get
heard
him out
the
of the
phrase
way.
get
Oh,
rid of or
really?
get them out of the
Fine.
way?
Especially back
Without it
then, like
meaning
they
to-
just kill people on a whim.
Okay, pues.
Han's gonna kill everybody he meets. But because like when he says she's engaged to someone else and they stop, I'm like, cool. Everyone's gonna be decent about this. They don't
You
know.
thought.
They don't know that she's an idiot and that she's engaged to someone she doesn't know. They just know she's engaged. Like, cool,
Like she spent more time with Kristoff
Exactly.
than she spent with
right?
Han.
They're like, oh, she's engaged. It's probably not stupid. Let her live her life. And they're just like, huddle up. He got to kill him. It's like, what? Oh, that's such an evil song,
I hate
He's engaged. Kill him.
right?
He's
Colin, what are your
fiance,
thoughts? Why do you
kill
hate it?
I hate it because, like you said, it's also like Kristoff brings a girl home. In theory, he's never done that.
Yeah, he hasn't.
And they immediately go, you got to marry her. Now, I'm going to set aside the heteronormativity of that because nobody wants to hear about that. But just the idea of like, they don't know her. He doesn't know her. He says in the beginning of the song, no, it's not like that. And they just keep going anyway.
Yeah.
Because I feel like by this point, like Hans and or Anna, whatever her name is, they did have like a kindly romance. And these are-
Kristoff and Anna, you mean?
there you go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just making sure.
Kristoff and Anna just have like the startings of a romance, and these are supposed to be the love experts, which means they sensed it, right? So I thought that's what it was.
That's creepy. Also, like, but it's not just that, though. It's also like the whole idea that, like, let's list his flaws and say that you can fix them and then it'll be fine. Like,
Well, but then they say like, I mean, you're not
Nah.
gonna fix his flaws, 'cause, you know, like
I think
don't know.
that portion of the song, I'd like. It starts off weird, like, oh, this is all the stuff that's wrong with him. Marry him. But like, the song's message after they get past the killing the fiance part, I think is dope because it's basically everyone's a fixer-upper.
Yep.
Like no one's perfect, but
Yeah.
you know we got to look past all the flaws in people. You're gonna find someone that you love regardless of what's wrong with them.
Yeah,
So I can get down with that.
I like that.
It's
message.
just everything before that. It's like, whoa, guys.
it's like the song
Chill
has
out.
two halves and the second half is great and the first half is oof.
Mm-hmm. And there's one black person in this movie. It's that troll mama.
What?
You can tell by her voice that is
Yeah,
a black,
absolutely.
Kristoff has a black mom. And it's just like
That's why he
I
has so much
kinda get it.
sense.
You bring that girl home. And she's like, ooh, who's this? She cute. When am I getting some grandbabies? Those are my thoughts on Fixer Upper.
explains why Kristoff's the one with the most sense.
Exactly.
This whole movie.
What's your favorite thing about this movie?
My favorite aspect of this movie is the magic because I love magic in pretty much any form. And Elsa's ice magic is really cool.
It is really cool.
And
True
like,
story.
I want to know more about like, I don't need to know where it came from. You don't need to do the origins of magic, but just like, are there other people with magic? Are there other abilities out there? I want to know more about that. How does that work? How does she, because it seems like the second movie is going to involve her like testing her magic, which I love that. I want to see more of that shit. That's what I'm here for.
Fair.
I agree with you. The magic is really cool, and I want to see more of it. And I also want to see if there's different versions of it, right? Because
Yeah.
does everybody only have ice powers, or are there like fire powers? Are there avatars?
That'd be dope.
No.
I would love that.
Because could this theoretically be an Avatar crossover universe? Who knows?
Oh no, not with all the see. Then you get into some race wars, and I don't really.
Oh God, let's not talk about that.
I mean, Disney just made Maleficent. That movie's about a race war. Their own brand. 2019 is the year of the race war. Gabby,
Yes.
is the magic your favorite part of the movie as well?
It's not. I think I like the message of sisterly love being a form of true love as well.
I like that too.
I really, really like that. Because while I was watching the movie, I was like, okay, true love. So then if Hans, because I knew that there was a twist. So I was like, so if Hans is in her true love, does that mean Kristoff's going to go back? And I was like, I don't like this, that like a dude has to save her. But I can't see Disney going any other way. And I like that like, it wasn't Elsa's act of true love.
Yeah.
It was Anna's own act of true
Right,
love.
she saved herself.
For Elsa. Yeah. I really enjoy that. I feel like it's very empowering in a way that, how do I explain? It's very empowering to little girls, and like it explains why little girls are so obsessed with this movie in a way that like I hadn't seen in a Disney movie before, right? Usually the female characters don't necessarily save themselves. There's a couple exceptions obviously, but I just really liked it. And you could like virtually almost like completely exclude the male characters and it'd basically be the same movie.
Well,
yeah, which is
plot differences.
A couple, but like not anything major. I feel like you could still end up where they were without the dudes, like Kristoff or Hans. But that's a different point. I really like that, and it like when I was like, why are little girls obsessed with this movie? And then I saw the end, and I was like, that's why they are, and I appreciate it. So I think that's my favorite part.
Dallas,
Yes, Colin.
what's your favorite part of this movie?
Kristoff.
Valid.
Yeah.
Absolutely valid.
Just Kristoff.
He was great.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
And he was like a very different Disney prince, because usually the Disney prince is like the perfect dude that like just follows her everywhere, la la la.
Yeah.
And like he's very much like, girl, you're a mess.
Except Flynn Rider.
Except Flynn Rider and Naveen, because he was kind of the screw up.
No,
that his
Naveen was the screw up.
Yeah, so like with those two excluded, like normal, like the quintessential Disney prince is like fawning over the woman and like blah blah blah. But like he was like, oh girl, you are a mess, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. And he's just the most realistic character in the movie to me. Because like Anna's ridiculous. And, you know, Elsa's a shut-in superhero. And then Hans is the devil. And then you have Kristoff who's like just, you know, a dude.
Yeah.
It's like I can get down with that. I relate to that.
Colin.
Colin. What are you expecting from the next Frozen 2? Electric Boogaloo.
I expect it'll be prettier for one thing. They've had 6 years to get better at what they do. Apparently, it's going to tackle a bunch of stuff. There's some stuff about magic. There's some stuff about their parents in there. I don't know. I don't need to solve the mystery of their parents. They did. But, you know, the music will probably slap. There'll be one song that gets played on the radio forever until we're all sick of it.
It's going to be Into the Unknown, and Into the Unknown is probably going to be the one that they submit to the Oscars, to be honest.
Oh, boy.
Who's
Into the
singing that?
unknown.
Idina Menzel is going to be singing that again. It's going to be their Let It Go. Brendan Urie just released his pop cover version of it, and it is ridiculously good.
Yeah, I
Is
didn't
it
like
written
that.
by the same
Yes,
husband
it's
wife
the
duo?
same lyrical music duo from the original one.
And they've already won 2 Oscars, man, for their lyrics for Disney.
Gabby,
Ooh, yes.
what do you expect when you're expecting? Just kidding.
I expect them to dive into the magic a little bit, because I saw in the trailer there's a scene where like Elsa finds a bunch of people that have magic like hers. So I
Interesting.
really want to see that, because I'm like, yeah, like where did her magic come from? Like why is she the only one? And also, how is it that her dad knew like what to do? Like, so because they didn't explain that, they were just like, Anna's hurt, I know what to do.
Oh, right.
And he
Take
goes
them
to
to
a
the rock
book.
people.
Yeah, and he like, there was an implication that there's a wider world, because the troll dad also asked him, he's like, is this cursed or was she born with it?
That's
And
true.
he was like, born. And I'm like, ooh. And like that implied to me that we were going to learn more about the magic throughout the movie, and then we didn't, and I was like mildly disappointed. But then it was such a hit that Disney was like, make another one. So I'm excited to learn more about the world and the world expansion, because I do like world expansion. It's one of my favorite things that people do. It's what sucked me into John Wick.
That's a dope world.
Yeah, right. So I want more world expansion, and I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. Sterling K. Brown is in the second one?
Yes.
I expect him to play a rock or something.
He
not
doesn't.
human. Is he a human?
Yeah,
Is
he's
he
a black
black?
man.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
There was a picture
it's
of him.
in the trailer.
We talked about it during the D23
You think Dallas
thing.
pays attention to
Thank you.
Frozen marketing?
Thank you, Colin,
You-
for being the
We
only one at the
literally
table who
did
knows
an
me.
entire podcast about D23.
You think Dallas pays attention?
You can probably listen to that podcast and hear me say, I don't know.
Oh,
I
I
probably wasn't paying
thought
attention to
because
Dallas
Frozen.
hadn't seen the first one until yesterday. What did you expect?
What I
You
am
think
learning
he's gonna
here-
remember anything about Frozen 2 besides the fact that it's coming out.
Well, I thought you would at least watch the trailer.
What I am learning here
He watches a
is
lot of
that
trailers.
none of
He
my
puts on
information
videos that are
gathering
just trailer after trailer after trailer.
matters.
That's not true. I go in
Uh-huh.
there.
Also, how long ago was D23?
A few months ago.
Yeah, definitely
That's
forgot
so much. You
everything
know how
from
many
Frozen.
trailers have come out since then? He just watches trailers.
There wasn't even a trailer
Oh,
back
I
then.
also watch trailers.
My
and I
dude.
remember details.
He's a busy man.
Well, if you watch the trailer, you'll see that Sterling K. Brown is not only playing a human, he's playing a black man
Oh, sweet.
They got
who
one.
They
also
got
has magical powers.
Oh,
just
he's one of the
don't-
magic people.
Yeah, there's like a. It
About to
looks
get
like
murked.
it seems like what happened was all the magical people created some sort of like barrier or other dimension, and they all kept to themselves.
Oh hell yeah! Are we about to get
And-
like a magic civilization? Because
I think-
love that.
I think so. And then somehow Elsa or Anna, because I can't remember the trailer exactly right now. I think it's Elsa gets through, and they're like, "You have powers, and you're from the outside world. How did you get in here?" And she's like, and that's all that I got from that.
This is Maleficent, too. Like, there's a black man with powers. It's like, oh, yeah, you're one of us. This is where we live now.
Sure.
Except Angelina Jolie, like, doesn't just find her way there. He takes her because she's cute. It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
So now I'm expecting a race war because this movie sounds a lot like the sequel to
Hey.
Maleficent, which hopefully we don't do that again.
You did say 2019 was the year.
It's the year of Disney race wars. If they're going to do it, they're going to do it. The only teaser I remember her like running on the water with her ice powers.
Yeah.
And that was cool. And that's where my memory stops for Frozen marketing
okay.
for the second.
Well, I think that was the teaser from D23, so you must have
Got
watched it in prep for D23.
Yes.
And then they like
the media
maybe a
that
month
they
and a half
together.
ago. Yeah. And maybe a month and a half ago, I think they released a full-length trailer.
Yes, didn't watch that.
Okay, great.
Here we are.
You should. It's great.
There we are. Final thoughts on Frozen.
I'm excited. I already bought tickets for it. I'm going to see it at El
Oh.
Capitan.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
nice cut.
Huh? What was that?
Nothing.
What did you say?
Nothing at all. Anyway,
Colin.
movie's cool. I like it. I'm not excited for the sequel, but I'm gonna go see it. So they did their job.
Fair. Frozen is pretty dope movie. Solid. I don't know if I'm going to see the second one. It depends on if someone else takes my niece to see it. Because I know she's going to want to see it.
Yeah, you got to take her.
Yeah. And if Kayla wants to see it, I'll probably see it.
So you're going to go see it.
We'll see. Well, thank you, Demi, for your editing and your data gathering and
All the post-production.
D23 stuff you did and all that stuff. Also putting us on YouTube.
Pages and pages of work.
I just want it to be said that everything that wasn't Frozen related, I'm pretty sure I like scoured through because I remember a lot of stuff. I read all those pages. I just don't remember the Frozen stuff. Moving on. Thank you to the fans for listening to us talk about Frozen for however long we've been doing it.
Too
Thank
long.
you. It's never too long. Colin.
Colin,
It's never too long.
some people really like that movie.
Yeah.
I just feel like Throwback Thursdays don't need to be this long for a movie that's 6 years old.
You're right. Continue.
He's wrong. Moving on. Thanks, fans. Don't be like Colin. Listen to us. Thank you to Crown Digital, Brandon and Io for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can find us, Creative Differences, the team, on Twitter at y'all_different. You can find us on Facebook. Just search for Creative Differences. You can find us on Tumblr, Creative Differences Podcast. That's it for that. You can find me, personally, at A King Named Simba on Twitter and Instagram because Disney has not made me change it yet.
Woo.
You can find me on Twitter at Duck McGuck.
You find me, Gabby, on Instagram at Stegosaurus.
I don't think you can find me. Not today.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Dreamy Films. Dreamy is spelled DREEMI.
All right. Just putting their info out there.
It's on other podcasts.
Yeah,
She consented to that, Gabby. Dang it. I had a joke. I don't remember the joke.
Darn.
It's okay. Colin, make a joke.
I'm not just gonna do it on the spot.
I can't do it on spot. I'm not that quick thinker.
These hoes never bothered me anyway. All right.
You're so
It's been
dumb.
different.